And we are back with the third segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this second segment, I'm going to talk about the WNBA making its return and the fact that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have already broken records. And the WNBA has only been back for about like a week. So, again, I'm going to repeat that. The WNBA took a break for a week. Well, not really a week, but they took a break for the Olympics. And in 1 week back, we already have news about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese breaking records. If that doesn't show you, the talent and the greatness of these two rookies, I don't know what does. And if this doesn't tell you that Caitlin isn't the chosen one to, bring money to the WNBA, I don't know what does. Because we've single-handedly heard more news about Caitlin Clark in the span of this week than we heard news about women's United States basketball, period. I'm sorry, but there was no breaking headlines about the women's basketball team aside from the fact that they could go undefeated and improve their undefeated record that's been held since like 96 or something like that. Or maybe even 92. I have no idea how long it's been held, but it's been held way before I was born. And, we just hear more news coming from Caitlin and coming from Angel than we do the rest of the WNBA, which definitely says a lot about their talents. And speaking of talent, Caitlin Clark, the record that she broke was the all-time rookie assist record with 225. So she has the most assists by a rookie in WNBA history. The previous record was set by Tika Penichiro. Forgive me if I completely messed up that last name. And her record was set in 1998 when she recorded 224 assists. Now, Caitlin breaking this record, the fact that this record was set in 98 and no female rookie has been able to break this record until she did, just goes to show you the talent that she has in the WNBA. Not to mention, this wasn't the only record that she broke during this night. No, she broke not one, but two WNBA records this previous night. Now, it wasn't a WNBA record, but it is a franchise WNBA record. She passes Tamika Catchings as she sets a new franchise record for most three-pointers made by a rookie with 77. So, most three-pointers made by a rookie in Indiana Fever's history. So, that amounts to 77. And she has 77 made three-pointers in the WNBA, which is also, I believe, in the top 5 of the most made three-pointers in the WNBA right now. The last time I checked that stat, that was top 5. So, and not to mention, she's also leading the WNBA in assists. So, she's she's top 5 in three-pointers made. She is top 1 in assists averages, and I believe that's top 1 in total assists as well, if not, at the very least, top 3. And, not to mention, she's also pretty good in the scoring category as well. I don't really know the exact number where she's at because that scoring category changes because Aja Wilson and Sabrina Ionescu and Brenna Stewart, they're just demons on the court. But it's she is a phenomenal athlete and arguably the best player and for the WNBA. Not the best player in the WNBA, the best player for the WNBA. And, at this point, Caitlin Clark is bound to break dozens of records, both for the Fever's franchise and for the WNBA. And the craziest part is that this is possibly the weakest version of Caitlin Clark that we've seen in this entire league. Now, enough about Caitlin, because I know you guys in the comments, you're going to be like, oh, but what about Angel? What did Angel do? Well, Angel became the fastest player to reach 20 double-doubles in the history of the WNBA. So, again, these two players, they've just been phenomenal at the sport that they've played at, and they're just the best thing that the WNBA could ask for. I know a lot of these WNBA athletes, they're, very jealous of these two and the fact that they get so much attention, but tough. Suck it up and deal with it. Boo-hoo, you're going to be making more money because of the WNBA's new revenue deal that they have with Amazon Prime. Suck it up. These two are great for your league. And really, it's just, you gotta understand that these two are great for your league. Now, Caitlin Clark, for the first time in the longest time, I swear to God, she actually had help in playing against the Storm, who I should note, they're 17-10. Meanwhile, the Fever are 13-15. So they were able to beat the Storm by 20 plus points. And the big reason was because that Caitlin finally had help in terms of scoring help. Like there'll be games where she just doesn't get any kind of help from her teammates. Her teammates drop the ball, her teammates cause turnovers, her teammates miss easy shots, and in this game she finally gets the help that she needs. This one female, Lexi Hull, who came off the bench, scored a career high 22 points, and I believe, let me just see the field goal. She shot 8 for 10 from the field as well as 6 for 7 from the three-point line. Caitlin ended the game with 23 points as well as 9 assists. And really, surprisingly, the best player for the team was Kelsey Mitchell, who ended the game with 27 points and 10 for 19 from the field. Now, if you guys listen to my podcast, then you guys would know that my opinions on Kelsey Mitchell aren't really that high. I am not a big fan of Kelsey at all, but thankfully she actually played so much better than Caitlin did in this previous game. And the Chicago Sky, they ended up losing by almost 20 points. They lost 68-86 to the Phoenix Mercury, and Angel Reese ended the game with 19 points as well as 20 rebounds. And I mean, she's just, she gets rebounds pretty easily, and a lot of people, they criticize her because she gets rebounds off of her own misses. I've seen that before. I've seen a lot of the rebounds that she gets are off of her own misses. And that's really the big reason why she gets the rebounds, but I'm not going to, hate on her because she broke a huge record for the WNBA, and it's kind of ridiculous how they're both just breaking records left and right. And, I mean, Diana Taurasi, she tried to hate on these two players. Meanwhile, Caitlin is averaging better numbers than her in the WNBA, so it really doesn't matter what she had to say, even though she ended up getting the last laugh against Angel here when she ended up winning by 20 plus points. So that's just, a little bit of the things that I wanted to talk about with the WNBA. Just the fact that Caitlin is really breaking these records, and the fact that Angel Reese is also breaking records, and we've only had the WNBA back for just 1 week, and we're already hearing some big news. Really goes to show you just how fantastic these two players are. So with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and go into a break, and then after this break, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some basketball news, which will be just, all the basketball, the trending basketball topics that are happening right now, and it could be a multitude of things, from free agent signings, from people talking, this, that, and the other. I'm going to talk all about that in the fourth segment right after this short break, so be sure to stay tuned.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.